What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man Barry Bonds back with another episode of the A&R Report. Now, this is a vlog that is dedicated to underground and unsigned hip-hop artists who are looking to find the tools and the resources to win and be discovered and be the next vanguards of hip-hop and popular music. So, just a little bit about me. I'm a 16-year vet in the music industry, and I started back in 19, so I don't give away my age, but been around for a while. And what I'm doing now is that I see so many youth, so many young kids that are out here trying to get into the music industry by all means, all costs. And you necessarily don't have the tools to be able to navigate your way through this industry, which is a very tough industry, which is almost as tough as being an NFL player trying to get into the NFL. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a platform that will bring you all the answers, where I can talk to you and guide you through. And I also would like to, take comments, and also you can send me messages and ask questions so that I can help you, get your game on track and not your wig pushed back. All right. So this is just going to be a vlog that I'm going to post, and I'm going to develop it, the early stages, until I figure out how I want the layout and the look, and the presentation will come soon. And but for right now, I just want to get some ideas and just get some thoughts on the top of my mind, off to you guys, because I know that you're looking for information on how to, get closer to your goals. So, one, this is what I'm going to share with you. You have to be diligent, persistent, and consistent. Aggressive, persistent, consistent, if you want to navigate and if you want to attain your goals in this music industry. Trust and believe. Now, I give you a story. I actually started out with Universal Records, and I had moved from Cincinnati, Ohio up to New York, and I worked for Universal. I was an intern there, and I was promotions as well as doing radio calls to mainstream and college DJs, and it was just a really, really tough grind. So what I had to do was I had to learn all aspects, of the music industry, from the promotions aspect of it, and learn how to promote a record, from mainstream and the college ranks. So in doing so, the head of promotions for the label kept me up under his wing, and he taught me a lot. And I appreciate him to this day, because he gave me a lot of good game. But what I want to give to you guys is that, just like in Charlemagne's book, Black Privilege, go get that, he pretty much said that you have to put the weed in the bag and then get money. And that's what I had to do. Now, I do see that nowadays, you youngsters are really, really entitled to the point where you feel like you should just have it all without having to do the work. And that's not the case. You'll never get into this industry with that type of mentality. This industry right now, even the fly nights that you watch, who are hitting the charts with records, they had to grind for 5-10 years. Just for that one moment. Some of them, it took them at least 5 to 8 years just to get noticed by the production company or even the manager that helped them to achieve the goal and get them to where they are now. So the thing is that you have to be able to grind. You have to learn the industry. You have to learn all aspects. Just like if you were a football player, you have to get out there and you have to learn all aspects of the game, and then play your position and play it better than anyone else. That's pretty much what it is, you know. But getting back to the point that I was trying to make here is that I worked for Universal, and I worked hard. I, you know, did extra work. I stayed late. I would get there at 7 a.m. in the morning, and I would stay until maybe somewhere around, some nights I would stay, you know, over, you know, 3 or 4 in the morning, you know, driving my boss around. But, you know, I wanted an opportunity, so I said, hey, let me mark off 5 to 6 months, and I'll just straight grind. And with that straight grind, I basically postponed every extracurricular activity that I was, you know, planning on doing. You know, whether it was a vacation, whether it was going home to see my parents, or, you know, my friends, hanging out with my friends, going to the club, all of that. I blocked all of that off, you know, and I actually activated the Universal, or I call the Universal Grind season, which is from September to April. That was my Universal Grind season, September to April. In those months, I say, you know what? I'm going to do nothing but just grind. We're just going to do nothing but work, save money, put money away. And I was able to intern 6 months, 6 full months without another job, because I had savings. And I was able to pay my rent, as well as, you know, to take care of things that I needed to take care of. But the opportunity with Universal, I worked hard. You know, I made at least 150 calls per day, you know, just calling, checking up on people, and, you know, trying to find new avenues and new ways to be able to pump the records that I was promoting. At the time, it was Chicken Noodle Soup, which was by Young B and Webstar. So with that, I made a lot of great relationships. You know, there's no substitution for building a relationship. You can't build a relationship by text. You can build a relationship by speaking to that person, calling that person, you know, having a personal touch with that person. A text can be, you know, the words that you use in a text can be used in so many different ways. You know, the perception, you know, of the text, you know, is wishy-washy. You can take, you know, words that are said in text anyway. You know, it can be bad, it can be good. So you never want to try to build a formal relationship by text. But I just got out there and I busted my ass, and I worked hard. And when there was an open position for special ops, I wanted to apply. It was for Motown, and the Motown position I applied for would have given me, you know, a really good stance and a start in the industry to start it off. But, you know, as it so happens, I wasn't able to be able to, I interviewed for it, and when I went to the interview at Motown, and you would think Motown would be, you know, from the history, it's an all-black label, you know, African-American music, you know, soul music, you know, R&B. But when I went there, it was nothing but like white kids, gothic, you know, looking white kids, like punk rockerish. So I was a little disappointed, because I had, you know, always been had the traditional view of Motown in my mind. But once I did that, they actually, you know, didn't give me the job. And I was, you know, I had the interview. I left the interview knowing like, oh man, this is not going to go through for me. So I was a little hurt. So I was walking down the street, and I saw someone that I knew. I saw a girl that I knew. Her name was Charisma. And I saw her. She said, hey, what's up, B? What's going on? I said, what's up, Charisma? How you doing? And we went to, I was walking down the street, down Broadway, and she was like, where you coming from all dressed up? And I said, well, you know, I just had this interview over at Motown. And she said, how'd it go? I said, well, you know what? It was horrible. Motown didn't look like the Motown, you know, I had envisioned in my mind, the whole, you know, image of it I envisioned in my mind. So, you know, I don't think I got it, you know. And she said, well, why don't you work with me? I said, okay, cool. You know, shit, where do you work? And she said, right down the street. Right down the street where? I'm at Bad Boy. Bad Boy. Now, those who know me know that in high school, all I wanted to do was my only wish was to work for Bad Boy Entertainment, Bad Boy Records. So when that happened, I went straight down there with her. I said, sure, I will apply right now. I have my resume. Let's do it. So I applied. I went there with her. I sat in the waiting room for 3 hours waiting for Francesca Spiro to meet with me. And when she finally did, she said, hey, can you start on Monday? And I did. And I stayed there for 2.5 years. I had great success there. I worked on a lot of great projects, and it was amazing. So, you know, that's all I can tell you.
My bad, Pepe. Nigga Johnny, you're talking, man. He's talking. You ready?
Yeah. Excuse me there. But, yeah. Yeah. So we had a great time. So we did our thing. You know, it was a great experience, and it was one that I'll never forget. But, you know, the thing was that I had to learn all aspects of the job. I had to put the weed in the bag, so to speak, and then get money. And that's what I did. And it paid off with me getting the job that I wanted, because 1, I was persistent, 2, I was consistent, and 3, I was aggressive. And that's pretty much the lesson that I have for you right now. But this is the first vlog. I'll be getting back with you guys, you know, real soon, and we'll make this presentation. We'll get this presentation, you know, together, and we'll make it, you know, airtight so that, you know, it'll be pleasing upon the eyes. Any artists out there, if you can send any music that I can use as a theme song for the blog, I appreciate it. You can send it to mgmt@gmail.com. That's my management email. If you have any questions, just leave questions below, and I will answer all questions right here on the blog. We can actually make it a segment. All right. So, hey, as I normally tell people, positive minds move forward, because stagnant ones stay stagnant. All right. Negative ones stay stagnant. Sorry. All right, man. Y'all be good. I will talk to you later. A&R Report signing off.